So, welcome to our Scratch Day 3 course. This is going to be the last course in our 3 days. If you remember, on our first day, we made an animation. On our second day, we made an apple catch game. And today, we're going to be making a Pong game. Okay? So we're going to use what we learned from the previous 2 days to be able to create this Pong game. Okay? So this is how it's going to look like, similar to this. Okay? It's like classic Pong. You move your paddle and then the ball bounces off, and if it touches the bottom, you lose. Okay, so we have blocks from the motion section, control section, sound section, variable section, look section, and sensing section. Then this is our code. I'm going to go ahead and open Scratch. Okay, Scratch, right, and I'm going to create a new project just right here. You can name it ping pong. Okay, I'll close this for now. I'm not going to name mine right now, but you guys can name yours if you want. Okay, I'm not signed in right now. That's why it doesn't appear, but I'm just going to code this for you right now. Okay, so we have our sprite here. If you remember, this is the default sprite. We don't want this cat because that's not what we're going to be using. We're going to X this cat out. We're going to choose our sprite, and we're actually going to be needing 3 sprites. We need first the line. When the ball touches the line, we want it to be like a game over. Okay, put this near the bottom and make sure it's centered properly, right? Put this like right near the bottom. Next, you're going to search up paddle. This comes with Scratch. We have our paddle here. Put this right above the line, but not touching the line. And lastly, we need our ball, right? There's a ball over here. So this is what we're going to be using. We also need our background. I'm going to choose the city, the night city. Okay. And now we have all of our background and sprites set up. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is first be coding the ball code. So you're going to have the ball clicked. Okay. And then you're going to go to the event section. Remember this when clicked. This is there when you start every program. Okay, so this is the when clicked, and then we're going to start our code. The first thing we're going to do is actually make a variable. We usually do this at the end, but we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this at the beginning, right? Because we need our score to be set to 0 at the beginning each time. So we're going to set my variable and set score to 0 at the beginning of every program. And we want the ball to come from the top, right? We don't want it to start at the bottom and then we already lose. We want it to start at the top each time and come down. So what we're going to do is set y2 and make it 160 or 157, anything like that. And then if you click this, the ball goes to the top. That's about where the ball comes from the top. Next, we're going to incorporate a forever loop in the control section, because we want the ball to bounce around the map forever, right? So we'll say we want it to move 20 steps. By default, it's 10 steps, but you have to change it to 20 if you want it to be faster, or else it's going to be kind of slow. And we want this new block. It's called if on edge bounce. So what this means is that if the ball touches the edge, it bounces. Now, if I run this, as you can see, the ball is bouncing off the walls. But it's going in the same direction each time. Like there's no change in the pattern or anything, right? It's very slight. So to do this, right, we're going to be changing that. But before that, we want to say if it's touching the paddle, we want to bounce off. Okay, so we're going to be taking advantage of the if and then block, and also blocks from the sensing section, because it needs to sense if it's touching the paddle. So we'll say if touching, so this is the ball code. So if the ball is touching the paddle, we're actually going to incorporate a sound. So we'll say start sound pop, right? So when it touches the paddle, if it touches over here, as you can see, it plays the sound pop. Right now it plays it multiple times, but that will be fixed as we continue the code. Okay, and now I'll just hand it over to Devansh to finish the rest of the ball code, and then after him, Sid will take. Okay.
Okay. I'll share my screen. Participant disabled screen sharing. Okay. Okay. All right. So what we want to do now is from here, since we can click the green flag, and whenever it touches the paddle, it makes a sound. You might not hear it on your end because I have headphones on, but it should be working for you. So what we're going to be doing now is so whenever it's touching the paddle in this game, we want our score to increase by 1. So in the variables, there's a change my variable by 1, and we are going to change that to score. And now what we are going to be doing is here we have a turn and there's a left arrow. We're gonna take that and we're gonna X out the 15 degrees that's set by default. And in here, we're gonna go in operators and pick random from 1 to 10. So the computer's gonna pick a certain amount of degrees from, we're gonna change this to 150 and 190. So it's gonna pick a random and it's gonna shoot the ball right back. And last thing that we have to add in this is a move 20 steps block, since when it picks the random number of degrees, it's going to shoot back with the specific number of steps. So that is the ball code. And now I'm going to hand it over to Sid for the last part.
Okay, so let me.
Sid will do the backdrop part, and then Devansh will do the paddle code.
Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen once again. So I think you guys can see my screen. So now we are going to move on
we can't
to
see it. It says,
okay.
Oh, now we can.
Okay. So now we're gonna move on to the changing the background to when we lose, it's going to be switched, and to when we start, it's going to be set to this. So the way we're going to do this is by first of all going into the event section and getting a when green flag is clicked. Let me just zoom in a bit so you guys can see it a bit better. So we're going to take a when green flag is clicked, and then we're going to go into the look section. So when we start the game, we want it to be set to the switch the backdrop to Night City with Street. So that's the one we have right now. So this is going to be the start of our game. But now we're going to set up what happens if we lose. So we're going to get a forever block, and inside we're going to get an if and then block. And from there, we're going to go into sensing section and get touching mouse pointer, but obviously we're going to change this from mouse pointer to a line because we want when this line over here, because that's when the game's going to be over. When it's touching the line, then we want to switch the backdrop to a you lose. But we have to make our own you lose background. And now I'm going to show you how to do that. So on the top left corner, you're going to see code, costumes, and sound. So you want to click on costumes over here, and you're going to see my sprite's costume come up. But I want to do my background. And the way I do that, on the right hand side where it says backdrops, you click on that. And then you're left with 2 backdrops, the ones we have. We have Night City with the street, the one we're right now. And we have this plain, simple white one. So now we have this plain, simple white one. We want to change this to have a you lose in it. And the way we can do that is by taking this text button over here. And you can kind of position it where it's near the middle. You can obviously change the location. And you can just type in, I'm going to change the color to red because I feel like that's what a color for you lose should be. But you can keep it any color you want. But I'm going to keep it red. And I'm going to say you lose. And I'm also going to position it towards the middle and increase the size. So you can have it any size you want. I just want to make it pretty big so that the user knows that they have lost and they have to go again. So I think that's big enough. So I'm going to go back to my code and click on the ball. And we were back here. So we're going to say if touching line, go into the look section. And we're going to say switch backdrop to, it'll say backdrop 1. So this is the you lose background. And then once we do that, we're just going to go on where it says stop all. And from here, if we were to run our program, we're going to say, as you can see, I'm just going to wait. When it touches the line, it does say you lose, as that's the end of the code. So I'm going to let Devansh finish off our code with the paddle part.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. So what we're going to be doing now is we've successfully made the motion for the ball, but now we have to control the paddle. So we're on the ball right now, so select paddle over here. And we need a when green flag is clicked. Now this code is super easy. It's just 2 more blocks of code after this. We want a forever loop because we don't want the computer to forget that we are controlling the paddle. And we're just gonna do going motion, set X to, delete this. And in here, we want mouse X. So in the sensing, it should say mouse X. And now the paddle, once I run this code, the paddle, I will be able to control the paddle with my mouse and bounce the ball around. And when it hits the red line, then it will say you lose. And Arnav will conclude from here.
Okay, I'll go ahead and reshare my screen. Okay, so that is our ball and paddle code in case you want to look back at it. But that's going to be it for our 3-day course. This recording you can watch, if you missed anything. But this is just a reminder of who we are and why we're doing this. So we're a nonprofit company called Worthy Works, and our nonprofit includes several STEM and other courses and activities circling around coding and other tech-related areas. We take our knowledge and use it to show other kids out there that they can also learn and have fun while they're at it. I am the first mentor, Arnav.
I am the second mentor, Devon Shah.
And I'm the third mentor, Sid.
Okay, so that is going to be it for today. If you enjoyed, you can give us like a rating in the WhatsApp group that your parents are in. Facebook links and YouTube links will be posted there. This is not an updated version, but in the classroom that if you've joined, these slides will have links to YouTube. And if you enjoyed those videos, you can like and subscribe to those as well. But thank you for joining us. Goodbye.